The English Premier League is getting very exciting every week, and I tell you something, this weekend was no exception. It was a weekend full of entertainment. We saw a lot of positive results from smaller teams and also surprises, and to a lot of people it was a deja vu to them, and we're going to be talking about some of these stories in a minute, and starting with the first story. That is the story between Manchester United versus Crystal Palace. Now, I say it was a deja vu, right, to a lot of fans, because Manchester United, we know they've not been doing very well lately. And I spoke about them on this show last week, and we're still going to be talking about them this week because they are giving us something to talk about, which is why we are doing what we're doing, right? So let's talk about Manchester United. Manchester United hosted Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. Ordinarily, we would expect Manchester United to get 3 points from this game because they're playing against a small team. And remember, in Carabao Cup, Manchester United beat Crystal Palace 3-0. So everybody thought this is actually going to be the performance that is going to kickstart their season. But that wasn't to be, because they were beaten at Old Trafford by Crystal Palace. And guess what happened? Their fans booed them off at the stadium. Who can blame these fans, man? I said it before that there are a lot of emotions that are involved. There are a lot of, financial involvement from the fans. And they are the reason why these guys are doing what they're doing. So they have every right to be angry when a team like Manchester United is not doing very well. How can you play against a team like Crystal Palace at home and not get 3 points? What is happening with Manchester United? The coach is not getting it right. The players are being accused here and there about, domestic violence here and there against their spouses. And that, for me, is also affecting the team. How do you keep this team together? How do you keep them happy with some of the players not firing? We have the likes of Rashford. Rashford started very well. After he got a new contract with Manchester United, things started going down for Rashford. He's not scoring goals anymore. He's tracking back now, and he's one of the poorest in the English Premier League of any player that I can think of right now. He's a player, once he loses the ball in attack, he's just giving up. He won't go back. He won't track back to assist his teammate. And this is affecting the team. So what is the coach not doing right for Manchester United? Number one, I feel for me, there's no team unity there. And, when you don't have that team cohesion, teams are bound to struggle, because right now in Manchester United, they don't understand what they're playing for. The players seems to be lost at some point. There's, and I reiterate this point when I say that, when it comes to winning matches, is about character. When it comes to winning matches, it is about the mentality, the mindset of the players. And this is something that these Manchester United players are lacking at the moment. And I can't help but feel sorry for this coach, because he's trying his best to make sure, he bring out the best in these players. And some of the players, it seems they're not understanding his philosophy, and that is affecting the team. And this result, believe me, the media is going crazy, because they know Manchester United should be a big team in the world. And why are they struggling so bad? What is happening with this? Not that they don't have the players, they have the players, but their minds is just not right. Their minds are not right to win matches for Manchester United. So that is the first match that we'll be talking about in this show, and then we'll be moving to another match that also took place on Saturday, and that was a match between Arsenal and Bournemouth. Arsenal went away, and no Gunners. I say deja vu, it might be for good and it might be for bad, because, we expected this result to repeat itself. When Arsenal go to Bournemouth, we were expecting them to, win the match easily, and that is exactly what they did. We have that person, Kai Havertz, who scored for Arsenal his first goal in the English Premier League for Arsenal since moving from Chelsea. So I'm happy for Arsenal. I said it and I will say it again. They're like 2 or 3 signings away from them competing for the English Premier League. But right now they are doing very well. They have a coach. They've allowed him to build a team, and so far they're doing very well. So it was a very easy game for them to win against Bournemouth. Now moving to another match. This is a shocker to everyone, right? Because when Manchester City, who are the reigning champions of the English Premier League, traveled to Wolverhampton to play this match, everybody, myself included, we gave it to them that this is going to be an easy match for them. That wasn't to be. These guys were the one that shocked. It was a result that most people were not expecting. You can expect Manchester United to fumble here and there, but not a team like City. City are too sophisticated for them not to get points against a team like Wolverhampton, because they're a team that we brag about, we talk about them, building from the back, the middle, and the attack. When they're not with the ball, they're dangerous. When they're with the ball, they're more dangerous. And on this given day, they went to Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton scored, City equalized, and Wolverhampton scored again in order to win that game 2-1. It was a result that I believe a lot of, soccer fans out there we're not expecting, and everybody is not happy about. But can I tell you something? When a team like City loses a game, we are not going to analyze and start talking about their weaknesses, if they are doing well or they're not doing well, because believe me, they're still on top of the league. To show you how good these guys are, that means they win a lot of matches, and once they drop 3 or 2 points here and there, it doesn't deter them from becoming champions or for them staying on top of the league. So for me, it was just, a result that we're going to see maybe one in 10 matches or one in 12 or probably 20 matches for City, because they are a good side and they have a good coach who understands what it takes to win matches and, win trophies. And that is exactly what he has been doing for these Manchester City side. So they lost that game, 2-1 to Wolverhampton. And we're moving to another game also that took place in the English Premier League. Let's talk about Tottenham Hotspur. It's not often that we talk about this team. We talk about other teams and, the glamour that comes around their performances and all that. But there's one team that we don't usually talk about, that is Tottenham. Nobody give them opportunity. Nobody believe in them. Nobody think that these guys are actually title contenders, especially when they don't make the signings that other teams are signing. But I tell you what, they've started very well this season. And they were playing against Liverpool. Liverpool, remember, they played 10 men against Newcastle United, and they won that game. But here, they got a red card while playing against Spurs at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, at White Hart Lane. When they went to play that game, everybody, the papers, everyone believed that Liverpool were going to carry the day, winning their game. But that was not the case, because Tottenham Hotspur this season, they are proving to be a different team. They are proving to be a team. And you know what? I want to say something here. And this is what I've been talking about. A team is about character. A team is not about the individual display, especially when it comes to sports. This is about people playing for each other. If you can play for each other, if you watch Tottenham first goal against Liverpool, Richarlison, what he did in that game, that goal, that assist, it shows what I'm talking about. You can be in a position to score a goal, right? But then you look at your next player and you want to feed him to score first. You don't think about yourself, but you think about your next player and you want them to score, because all you're thinking about is for the team to be able to get positive result. And I tell you something, this is what this Tottenham Hotspur team is doing right now. The players are playing together. They don't have this talisman that they're looking up to. They don't have this individual that they're saying, without this person, we're not going to win matches. They are winning together as a team, celebrating together, losing together. And that, in the process, is giving them positive result as they are playing together. And I like this coach because he has instilled a sort of mindset in these players that you can actually go out there and do it. And I tell you this, these guys are doing it. And they beat Liverpool 2-1. Liverpool had their man Jones, who got a red card in that game. Even though Gakpo scored and he was injured in the process, but equalized, and Tottenham went to the dying minutes. They scored a winning goal in the dying minutes. And this is what I want you to also understand in this game. There were a lot of controversies that followed this game, because the goal of Diaz that was disallowed by the referee, one of the Liverpool players, McAllister, came out and saying that they played against 12 people, that talking about the referee and also the 11 players on the Liverpool side. And I don't know what the ramifications are going to be for that statement, because there is these new rules that came out from the English Premier League that you don't criticize the decision of the referee. You don't show your resentment, let alone say words out about what the referee has done. But that, I don't know what they're going to do about McAllister and his outburst. But at the moment, that is what we have on that game. Anyway, on that note, we're going to be taking a very short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with more sports update. Stay tuned. Back. We're still here on Sports Update with myself, Amy Akura. Let's take a look at some of the stories that also took place in the Sports Update. And we are going to talk about one of the first stories we're going to be talking about is actually humiliation that it was a shocker also to a lot of sports lovers out there. That is a match between Aston Villa and Brighton. Can you imagine Brighton that is beating everyone, beating Chelsea, beating Manchester United, beating all the big teams, went to Aston Villa. One would have expected them to at least get something out of that game. But they were humiliated 6-1. That man, Ole Watkins, scored 3 goals, a hat-trick against Brighton, and they lost that game 6-1. It was a humiliation to that team. You know, a very solid team, a team that is playing together. Also, I like the coach, Zebi. I like what he's doing with Brighton. I like, you know, the fact that he can be able to gel these guys up for them to be able to, you know, motivate them for them to be able to beat bigger teams and get positive results, and also participating in the Europa, which is something that they've never been doing in a long time. Yeah, now moving into another game also that took place. It was a game between Everton and Luton. Now here, I don't understand some teams. I don't understand them. You go away in the Carabao Cup, you beat a team like Aston Villa, you beat a team like Brentford, and then you come home when everyone is expecting you to get 3 points, and then you don't win it. That is the beauty of the English Premier League. Seeing that smaller teams are coming to beat bigger teams. Luton, who would have expected them to go to Goodison Park and get 3 points? But believe you me, they did. Yes, they did. They beat Everton. They beat Everton 2-1. And to a lot of people, it was a result that, for me, I consider that to be a treasonable offense, because a team like Everton is supposed to, I mean, yeah, I say that, you know, it's football treason if you look at it, because you can't go away and beat big teams and come home and lose to it. If you don't get 3 points against Luton, who are you going to get 3 points against? You know Everton is struggling. And this is a match that they were supposed to actually go ahead and win, but they failed to do that. All right, that is all we have for you in the English Premier League. Now we're moving to the other teams in Europe. And the first story that we're going to be talking about, we're not going to go too far from the English Premier League. We're just going to cross over to Scotland. And we're going to be talking about Rangers. Rangers just fired their coach. Bailey was fired. He started poorly. You know, you came in and, you know, in Scotland you have Celtic and Rangers competing. But then when you don't have Rangers and Celtic up there competing, then there's a problem, you know, and that is what is happening to this coach. You know, he lost their last match, and the management decided, you know what, I think it would be better we continue with this project without you, because we can see that your vision is not aligning with us, and you know, we have to make sure that we go to a direction in which we feel that is going to be the best one for us, you know, and that was exactly what they did. And they parted ways, and now they say their ex-players are going to continue, take over, and then continue until they find it possible, the best suitor for them, before they will hand over the affairs to that person to, you know, continue from where their ex-manager has stopped. Now we're going to move to another team in Europe. We're going to talk about PSG. I don't know what is happening to PSG, but They've not been doing very well lately. I can say to you now that since the likes of Neymar, Messi left, they're struggling to, to get positive result. I don't know if it is because that man Mbappe want to leave the club, or because they've given him, they've handed over the powers to him to control the team, to decide who comes in, who plays for PSG. And I tell you this, that is destroying that club right now. They went away to Clermont, and to my greatest surprise, which I expected them to get 3 points, they drew that game 0-0. And now there's another team also in League One that is struggling, and I'm beginning to ask myself, what is going on? Is it management or the players? I really don't know what is happening here. Lyon happens to be used to be one of the biggest teams in League One, and even till now they're still the biggest team, but this season they're sitting at the bottom of the table. Lyon is sitting at the bottom of the table. I don't know what is happening to this team. I don't know what the coach is doing wrong. I'm grappling with that idea of what is happening in Lyon right now. But it seems the players are not understanding the ideas of the coach, and the coach is also not understanding what he's doing, because this is a shame. I must say it is a shame to football, and it is a shame to Lyon fans. They went away to Reims and they lost that game 2-0, and they continue to stay in the bottom of the table. And I'll be moving to the Spanish league, and we're going to be talking about Real Madrid versus Girona. Real Madrid went away to Girona, and Girona were sitting on top of the league. It is very tight up there. They were close to a point away from Barcelona, and Madrid also a point away from Girona, but Madrid winning that game took them now to the top of the league, where they have 21 points. And going into this game, this is one thing about soccer that I like so much, right? In soccer, sometimes the results are not predictable. Like Madrid going away to Atletico Madrid, everybody expecting them to get positive results. They did not get positive results. Going away to a team now that is on top of the league, and you expect that they go there, the match is going to be difficult for them. They went there and then they got positive results. That is what makes this scene so entertaining, and because of the glamour that comes, the way in which teams play, the way in which you cannot predict 100% what is going to happen in the next game. So Madrid won that game, and they are now on top of the league. Now we cross over to Italian league, where we're going to be talking about Napoli. Last week I came here and I told you about a story. I talked to you about a story of our very own Osimhen, the struggle and what the situation between him and his club side. And this guy decided to put that aside, even though he's still not happy with the club, but he decided to put that aside and focus on his performance. And that is one thing I like so much about him, the professionalism that he's bringing into the game. He went away against Lecce and he scored in that game. And believe me, this is something positive, right? Even if you are not happy with the club, you have a job to do, because the club is paying you and you are still under contract. So you're obliged to make sure you give them your 100%. I just wish everybody can learn from this guy. He went there and he's just doing his job. He's scoring goals week in, week out. And that is what he's known for. And he wants to continue doing that. And possibly another team will get him the next season, or in January, who knows, the next transfer, somebody else might come for him. Maybe Chelsea, maybe Manchester United, PSG, you never know, or maybe even Saudi Arabia. But for now, he continued to do very well. And on this given day, he played and he scored in that game. All right, my people, we have come to the end of this show. And like I always say to you, I am very excited, I'm very happy, and I'm very, very grateful to you for watching RTM. I just want to take this time to appreciate you all, to say thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for watching the programs, and thank you for making sure that you are the reason why we are doing what we are doing. Without you, we'll not be here. We are doing this for you, and I hope that you are entertained, and I hope that we will continue also to entertain you, to bring positive ideas, positive news that, will be very informative, educative to you. Until I come your way again, stay blessed.